Welcome to the St. Charles County Correspondent. I'm Sam Saffa. I'm joined with Noah Brandt in the booth. Noah, how are we?
Hey, good morning, Sam. Great week of news here. Got a lot of fun stuff,
We have a lot of fun stuff. Usually our podcasts have like a structure to them. We usually go from one story to the next. This week, though, it's just a hodgepodge of news. There's a lot of little things happening across the county, and I think we want to talk about that this week. And perhaps the most important thing that happened this week is we have the results from the police crackdown on Highway 40.
Yes. Sam, first, just give people 30 seconds of context on this increased police presence.
Well,
this was forecasted, right? They told us this was happening.
It was forecasted based on the National Distracted Driving Awareness Month, which is the month of April. The St. Charles County Police Department, Lincoln County Sheriff's Department, and the Missouri Highway Patrol, they all got together and they said, hey, we're going to crack down on distracted driving on Highway 40. And basically, it starts north of Wentzville all the way up past Ellsbury on Highway 40 through Lincoln County. And
they're like, normally we let people do whatever they want on that road. Not this week. We're enforcing traffic laws.
Not this week. And man, the numbers are shocking. And they say, this isn't just a one-time campaign. This is something that they're going to do for a long time.
In perpetuity, forever, for eternity.
It's going to be expensive for the taxpayers, but I don't know.
So here's what I say. You gotta walk me through this list. Okay, some of this stuff I understand. Some of this I don't understand. 124 traffic stops. I get that. That's a lot.
By the way, one day.
So one day, 124 traffic stops, 52 speeding citations, 7 seatbelt citations, 2 failed to yield to stationary emergency vehicle violations, 1 DWI arrest. That's all really intense in one day. Here's what I don't understand. It says 1 motor vehicle accident because it says the campaign resulted in. It lists all these things. Are they saying they caused a motor vehicle accident?
Oh, wow. You're right. I don't think that's what they're saying.
But that's how it's framed, Sam.
Let's read it. The campaign sought to deter speeding and distracted driving and reduce the number of motor vehicle accidents. The campaign resulted in 1 motor vehicle accident.
A little odd, but I'm sure I assume what they mean is that during their enhanced presence, they were around for 1 organic accident that they did not cause. I think that's a charitable read, don't you?
I think that's certainly what they meant. And for whoever was in that accident, I bet the response time was very short.
I bet it's good. And listen, I'm available to the St. Charles County Police Department if they need me to help with their copywriting at all. You know what I mean? As they inform the good people of the county about this experiment in traffic. But man, 124 traffic stops. I would love to hear how that compares to a regular day when there's not enhanced presence. But that seems like
exactly
seems like a lot.
It seems very high. I've driven Wentzville to Troy 1,001 times, and
you love Troy. Yeah.
And there's just there's not 124 traffic stops. I'll tell you that much.
That's for sure. Day. Well, we'll keep. So this is not ending. This is just, this enhanced presence is just going to continue. So.
Yeah. And I know people who have been pulled over for seatbelt infractions. I have never been. I wear my seatbelt, but that's.
I'm going to say, are you admitting to something? You don't wear your seatbelt?
But that just shows you how intense the campaign is here. I mean, they'll pull you over for basically anything.
How do they tell when you're going down a highway that you don't have a seatbelt on?
Failed to yield to stationary emergency vehicles. That means that there's a cop on the side of the road pulling someone over, but then there's another cop like on the street and somebody didn't pull. And I'll be frank, that's something I can improve on. I always try to get over. I didn't realize that perhaps this is the law, where you have to.
Definitely the law to get over a lane if you can.
If you can, okay. Well,
you usually just speed up and go stay in the lane. You're like, I'm going to try to do them a favor by going faster.
Right.
Yeah.
I always try to get over, but I didn't realize it was the law when you see it ahead of you. So, I'm learning too.
It's the law of the land, So I would say it's at the same, like yielding to police cars on the side of the road is at the same level of law to when Moses took down the commandments from Sinai.
Yes, I have no comment. I don't even.
Sam, our next story. This one's a fun one. This is a follow up to something we did last summer, talking about Noble Ice Winery Tell us about that.
Noble Ice Winery is down in Augusta. We covered this in May of 2021. The story was
Beautiful place. Great place.
Gorgeous. The story was that, of course, David Hoffman, the infamous David Hoffman, has purchased basically every winery down in Augusta, save one.
He's purchased Augusta Winery. He's purchased Montel. He's purchased others.
Agreed. But he has not purchased Noble Ice. And two sisters, a family owns it. But this swirl was released by two sisters, very nice ladies. And they released Swirl Sangria, which is it's like a rosé mixed with a White Claw. It's like delicious, very refreshing. I want to read. They have a rosé wine, they have a red wine, and they have a white wine with real fruit. So this is lightly spritzed, I guess is the word. It's
so
bubbly.
It's a little bubbly.
It is.
A little bubbly, right?
And big shout
Get
out
that
to
carbonation hit if you're a soda boy like me.
Yeah. My wife and I attended their launch party I guess it was in last June, out at their winery. And here's the thing that prompted this story, Noah. On Facebook, I'm seeing Noble Ice Wine and Swirl is now available at center fields and shortstops. So, we've talked about, it was really hard to get a hold of because it was only available at Noble Ice.
You had to go to the winery itself. You'd buy it packaged in cans, but you had to go to the winery.
Right. Now it's available at a couple locations in St. Charles County. It's also available at Annie Gunn's if you're in St. Louis County. But Center Fields, of course, is located at D&T, really far south St. Charles County. So if you're going to like Washington or Augusta, stop by and pick.
Is that a grocery store?
It's a convenience store. I don't think it's a grocery store.
Convenience store, nice.
And then of course, Shortstops is downtown New Melly.
Yep, I know where that's at.
Yeah,
that's a great place.
It is locally owned and operated. I understand.
Did you try all three flavors, Sam, when you had it?
I did.
Yeah,
absolutely. And
do you remember your favorite?
Oh, without a doubt, it was the rosé wine. It was,
really?
Yeah. And let me read it. It's notes of raspberry, papaya, and peach.
The white sounds good to me because it's like I feel like especially when it's warm out, that the white sometimes is the crispest, the most refreshing.
I think it says smooth and delicious with just the right amount of citrus and peach for the white. And then for the red wine, which was really good, elderberry and black cherry come together with red wine for a delicate blend that's truly special.
You don't think about red wine as like a cold thing that's carbonated that you drink outside, but I bet they did. I bet they did a good job. Well, the people at Noble Ice, they rule. We'll have to talk to them again soon. And we appreciate what David Hoffman's doing out there, and we love patronizing all those businesses that are getting revitalized. I think he's doing good work, but I think it's cool that we still have one independent winery out in Augusta, and that they're innovating and creating this product that can go on store shelves.
Yeah, if you haven't had a chance, summer is upon us here. Go out and try it.
80 degrees today, Sam. We won't disclose the day we're recording, but it's 80 degrees out.
80 degrees today. I'm about to go mow my lawn. Last thing for the show today, Noah. Last week, Snoop Dogg was in St. Charles City. He was at the Family
Snoopy.
Arena. So that's fun. Also, I saw Donald Trump Jr. was in St. Charles County last week. I understand it was some sort of political event he was doing that was rescheduled. We actually reported on this back, I guess, last year. He was supposed to be here in November. Got canceled now, so he was here last week. So Snoop Dogg and Donald Trump Jr. were in the area.
Man, it would have been quite an event if they appeared together, if it was like a Snoop Dogg concert and Donald Trump Jr. appeared, or if it was like a Donald Trump Jr. rally and he's like, and to pump us up, we got Snoop. That would have been cool.
Or reverse. It was a Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
And to hype the crowd up, it was DTJ.
Yep.
Jr.
He's like, listen, we were going to have a rapper open for me instead. Don Jr., get up here. We're all going to pretend that we're all the apprentice and he's firing you. That'd be a pretty fun event. Well, that seems like a lot of fun.
Yeah. Interesting.
A lot of fun. And we have an event coming up next week. Is that right, Sam?
Yeah. Next week, the 30th annual Police Officers Memorial Candlelight Service. I don't know, Noah, if you got a chance to check out the live stream from last year. It was in May. It was the 29th annual, obviously. Very nice. Basically, what this is Bowie Funeral Homes puts this on for the 30 years in a row, and it's I'm reading the fine print here. This service will be dedicated to the men, women, and canine officers of law enforcement who serve our community and put their lives on the line to keep us safe. And I think it's also in memorial, of course, to the St. Charles County officers who have died in
Mm,
the past. Thank heavens that no one has died recently from any of the St.
yeah.
Charles departments. Certainly, there have been in St. Louis County, St. Louis City, but not in St. Charles. It's been several years, thank goodness. But this service will also
Yeah.
be it's a candlelight to remember those folks. And I think the families, uh, at least they know
I
their
mean,
last year.
this is that's right. This is an important event. I mean, Sam, someone sent me a flyer. Just a listener sent me a flyer, and I was amazed to see what's on here. Guest speaker Samuel Safa. Sam, you're going to be attending this, and
Yeah.
you're going to be talking.
I'll be
So
there.
if people want to hear, if you will be, I mean, you are highlighted on the flyer to be giving remarks. So if people don't get enough of Sam, which I mean, come on, who could get enough? Come on out. Here's Sam honor some police officers. I think that's pretty cool that you're going to be out there doing that, Sam. That's good work.
Well, I'm looking forward to it, Noah. This is a very, very important thing that our community does. Shout out to Bowie Funeral Home for putting this on. I don't know all the details. I imagine they set it up. The live stream from last year looked really impressive. So, yeah, if you want to turn this podcast off, you want to come out and really honor and support our law enforcement, you can do that. That is May 4th, so next Wednesday, May 4th at 7
Wow,
p.m.
it's almost May.
Yeah,
Crazy.
May 4th, 7
Crazy.
p.m. St. Charles Memorial Garden. It'll be at West Clay Street in St. Charles, Missouri. And then, of course, next Thursday we'll have a recap of that since our newsletter comes out on Thursdays. But
We'll have a video of the standing O you receive. Well, that's exciting, Sam. That's going to be a great event. You know, every single week, we in the show we try to cap off the week. You know, this show is released on Thursdays. We try to cap off the week with a little smile, a little weekly smile. Sam, what was making you smile this week?
This section, you've got to lead.
Wow, I get to go first. I don't often get to go first with these
you
things.
Usually start this section, and I'm always the one.
I do.
Sometimes I steal your thunder.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, hey, I appreciate that. Well, you know, I'll there's a lot of things to be smiling about. But here's something, Sam. You know, I have a daughter who's about 3 months old now, our first child, and for a long time she was not a fan of the car. She didn't have a reason, since her mom gets to watch her at home. She didn't have a reason to be in the car very much, and she would sometimes be pretty rowdy and pretty cryy. But, you know, for the past 2 nights, we've gone out to dinner and to relatively far away places, 20, 30 minutes, which for me, I don't usually get out of the house that much, seem far away. And little baby was just delightful in the car, and that made me smile because, you know, Sam, there's nothing like a screaming car ride to really either prepare you for a great dinner or cap off a great dinner. So I'm happy I'm having less of this.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, that's
yeah.
great. Are there any recommendations you can provide for dinner? Are these
well, you know, we went. They were both outside of St. Charles County. They were both in the Chesterfield Valley. So we went to Chesterfield Valley 2 nights in a row. One was to, I think, Baboa's Spaghetteria. Baboa's, I think is what it was called. Quite good. And then the other one was to Brick House Tavern. Also good.
I was at Brick House Tavern last weekend as well. So.
Wow. Well, there you go. Yeah, it was. I got a bison burger, and I felt like Teddy Roosevelt just ripping into bison.
Well, that's great, Noah. You know.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something that's making me smile in a different vein. Last week, Wentzville had their citywide garage sale, and we went out to the park with our little kid. And,
man,
we counted a dozen plus garage sales. I didn't get to stop in any, but man, it was tempting. So I always.
You didn't go into the garage sales?
No.
Oh.
Well, the nice thing is these garage sales are bringing them out to the driveways now. I think they should call it the driveway sale.
Yeah, I agree. It's better not to go in people's garage because you're not a big thrifter, from what I've heard, Sam. Because I buy a lot of things on Facebook Marketplace, and I said that to you once, and you said you've never bought something on Facebook Marketplace. Is that right?
I don't really. I don't know. I looked at a fridge on Facebook Marketplace, but it just seems hard. You know, I don't have a truck. I can't.
Yeah, you'd have to. If you don't have a truck, you'd have to get a truck. That is because one time I bought a big piece of furniture at a garage sale, got a great deal on the furniture, but I had to like literally go like find a truck for the day, to like get it to my
Exactly.
house. So
Yeah, I'd just rather take,
yeah,
pay an extra 10% and have it either delivered, from Lowe's or Home Depot, or just
sure.
get it new.
Well, I mean, you're not getting very good deals on Facebook Marketplaces if it's only an extra 10% you're paying for brand new, but it's all right. We'll do a whole episode one day on how to maximize your Facebook Marketplace and garage selling, Sam, so we can get you
Yeah, that'll be
thrifting the
all
way that you've
Noah.
always meant
All
to be.
Noah. I'll be here to listen. But
Yeah,
folks, we appreciate you
you'll
listening
learn.
to our show. You can leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, wherever you listen. You can also find us online at sCCC.substack.com. We post there weekly. We send a newsletter free of charge to your inbox that sort of recaps things that are happening around the county. And finally, if you have a tip, we'd love to hear from you. scccorrespondent@gmail.com. This week, it's been Noah Brandt and Sam Safa. We may have a guest for you next week. Stay tuned for that. But this is the St. Charles County Correspondent.